Almost out of here, Andrew. It's almost time, man.
Is it?
It's almost time. Almost time to wrap it up. I've been packing my bags, man. We only got one podcast left after this one. And this one's coming out this Sunday, which is when you're listening to this.
Right.
And then the last one, next Sunday.
That's it.
That's it. Oh, my.
So this is just a soft entrance into the exit.
This is the foreplay.
Yeah.
I should subtitle it.
The foreplay. And then in the last episode, the climax.
The climax. All right. What's happening, everybody? My name is Julius, and I'm here once again with a podcast to ignore. One of the last podcasts to ignore on this channel, man. And I'm here with Andrew, as you just heard.
Hello.
I've been thinking about this one for a while and thinking Andrew would be the appropriate person to kind of help me, throw the bottle at the ship as it's going off to sea and everything.
Let it not bounce off.
I know, like in Shrek, when he throws it, he takes the whole starboard bow off.
No, it's a nice clean break. Celebratory break.
Yeah.
It's been fun. It's been fun listening. Has it been fun hosting?
Recording?
Yeah.
And it's been a nightmare.
How many people have you said do you think you've talked to?
Man, probably over 20, maybe. Because there are some regulars on,
That's true.
We've had plenty of regulars, but I try to be as
plenty of new people as well, though.
That's true.
Like, the way I looked at it is like you were kind of, even during tough times, you were forcing yourself to be social in a way, and it was like, it was nice, dude. Like, I think you made a lot of memories from this podcast.
A whole year's worth. Except for that 1 week that I was killed by Brian, but then resurrected the following week. But yeah, so this is nearly it, man. I'm very, I don't really have an idea of what we're going to talk about in this one. I have some ideas for the last one. The last one is going to be a big, blowout, enjoyable one. A lot of people are going to be on that one. It's going to be a whole party episode pretty much. And it's going to be fun. There's going to be food.
Can I
drinking.
Brian?
Boobies.
Brian's Can I make a guess?
Yeah, sure.
I don't want to spoil anything.
No, go for it.
But something I'm scared of is like, the party going on, drinks going on, and then just like
a fire. Not
Not really noticing there's always one person missing.
Yeah.
Until I feel your inevitable hand on my shoulder and say, hey, come with me for a second. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's go get some drink or some talking. And you lead me into your room. The lights are off. The candles are on. And then you turn on the lights, and then the podcast is all set up. And I'm like, Julius, you've been interviewing each person one by one.
You dog. No, I actually plan to have, because it's going to be a lot of, people who have been on. Yeah. And I'm thinking of having some people who haven't been together on the podcast, what I mean?
Like unique pairings.
Unique
pairs
pairings.
You've never had. Okay.
I was thinking that could be fun, I don't want to spoil any.
Right. No,
but it's going to be fun.
Episode.
I have some ideas of like beefs to start. Last beefs to start,
Oh, no.
I've told you, I think, I showed you the thumbnail for this and you made a multiverse joke. But I was actually just thinking like this would be like that. In every sitcom, you get the episode about like the rerun episode
where the neighbors and the friends everyone's coming together, dude.
And they're just thinking, remember that one time?
Yeah.
And then it just gets back to we'll see if that happens. In this episode right here.
Oh.
Remember that time when Brian and Justin had beef with each other?
Blew up half a city block. Of course I remember.
Tore that ass up.
Oh yeah.
I love that period. Whenever we can fool Sebastian into thinking something's going on.
I mean, there was Brian. There was the pregnancy. Crystal's pregnancy.
Did you believe that?
Absolutely not.
You did. You didn't believe that? No. You thought that was cap?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Not only, well, I didn't know it was 4th of July, actually. That's not what gave,
or you mean April
Sorry,
1st?
April Fool's. Yeah, that's what, recent memories.
April Even Fool's. On 4th of July,
I wouldn't believe it. I'd call cap.
No,
but I told her this, actually. No, but it's the manner in which she announces the pregnancy. I know Crystal. I've known her my whole life.
Yeah.
She would not post a little story being all discreet about it. Well, I mean, in a way that's her discreet. She would call the second she was feeling something. Like, nah. Nah, I didn't believe it. No.
Well, I heard from her side, like the reaction of announcing a pregnancy on social media and also on a freaking podcast. But in terms of the way that your side of the family, because your family with Crystal,
Right.
how did they react if of anything that you noticed
Well,
to her announcing that?
I mean, like, the only other family that talks to her is, like, my sister, and she loves her and stuff, so, like, right away she started, like, oh, my God, congratulations and stuff, but then she realized it was April Fool's, so she's like, are you lying? But, I mean, yeah, Kelly was more happy and, like, hopeful about it, more so than I was more like, send me proof, you lie, you know.
And then a podcast came out. That's proof.
I mean, I guess. I told her, I'm not going to believe anybody until I see a belly in a few months. Like, that's going to be all the proof I need. So you can tell me, you can show me all the proof. I won't believe you until I see the belly. So
what if she was really method and then, like, started, like, actually
like
saying...
bloating.
or said to Miles, now I need you to get me pregnant.
Nah, she wouldn't. I know how she feels about kids right now. Are you kidding me? In this economy? She's already got a little Tasha and Ruby running around the place.
That's true.
You kidding me? We're going to give Miles some grays with the introduction of a kid.
Miles already has those grays.
Yeah,
man.
and he's going to be a full head of grays if we do that. We can't do that to him.
I don't know why Miles wants to be Austin Powers for Halloween when he should be Mr. Fantastic, you know?
Ooh, that'd be cool. I'm surprised you haven't gotten them on, like, a Marvel DC thing.
Like what? Like showing them movies
Like-
or something?
Nah, like a group costume. Like
Oh.
a superhero group costume
Well, I don't-
type thing,
There's only so many characters I could play.
I suppose.
You know, other than the
who's
guy-
you know which group is very diverse that I've always wanted to do?
What?
Batman's Rogues.
Oh, that's that. Yeah, yeah. Like
there's
who?
a
Like
lot
Two
of
Face
them.
or something?
Me? I mean, I've done Joker. I'm pretty sure everybody's done Joker.
Yeah.
I've done
Laughing
Riddler
Man?
once. Laughing Man, yeah. You can do Red Hood, put a bucket on my head.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of options. I don't know.
Well, the thing is I tried getting Miles to dress up as the Invisible Woman. I said, "Hey, you want to dress up as the Invisible Woman?" He's like, "What do I have to do?" I'm like,
First, take off your
"Take
clothes.
off your clothes." So, but that you'll still see me.
No. You're
No.
invisible in my mind.
Yeah, if you close your eyes, I won't be able to see you. He's like, all right, man. I really like the way that I don't know. It sounds like me doing a Miles voice, but like Jacob is impressed by it.
He is. No, he is. Because it sounds like... Play the clip. No. You've done Miles's voice plenty of times on said podcast.
Yeah.
Miles, I think he's been on pretty frequently, actually. Not just with Crystal, but on his own.
Yeah.
People can, if they've been listening for a bit, I think they could pick up that, like, your voice and his voice, they kind of blend into one. Like,
Yeah.
what you said to me privately, without the podcast knowing, you taught him how to speak his English language.
Yeah.
So, the Miles voice that you do, you instilled that in him.
Oh,
you
that's
gave
right.
that to him. So
It's
he
actually
does
my
talk
voice.
like you because of you.
It's when I was like, that's a great point, Andrew. When I was teaching Miles how to speak and read and all that back in the day, when he was like a little toddler and everything, I spoke to him like that, which is why he speaks the way he speaks. So in reality, it is my voice.
I knew it.
You know,
See?
whenever you hear Miles, whenever you see Miles, it's truly me.
Except when he goes, oh.
I don't know.
That's all him.
I don't know what that is.
That's him fighting your influence. His real voice wants to come out.
that's him. Like he's like a little puppet that found scissors going for his strings, and then I just like, what do you think you're doing?
So you got his backup Max, just in case.
Oh wait, hold up. I think something's going on with the recording. Hopefully it's.
When's the last time you used it?
It's been for this program. It's been a while actually because I'm gonna just go clap again. On this program, Mixpad, it's been a while. Because when we did the Dungeons and Dragons one, it was just on Audacity with one microphone, you know? So, which is why it sounded like that.
I mean, it sounded pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah? So you listened to the Dungeons and Dragons podcast?
So, I have about 20 to 25 minutes left of the episode. I usually finish each episode, but I can't keep listening to it.
Why?
Without wanting to draw it. I didn't want to tell you this, but like, no, I have so much shit that I need to get. I've been looking it up all day, like digital tablets.
Oh yeah,
to purchase. Yeah, because like I was talking to a tattoo artist recently about like, you know, I love pen and paper, but it's so much more convenient to be on electronic, and shapes and forms, everything is just precise on it. You know? So I'm like, you know, it's about time I get me one of those. And just listening to that podcast, just like I want to do something creative with it, and it made me want to get the tablet. But God, it made me laugh as well. Besides the creativity, you know, that would, because like if I'm not listening to it and imagining everything and picturing all the little details, it's Sebastian or Brian saying something stupid that takes me out of the scene and just like, oh fuck, like it just made me laugh too much. Dude, the owl. I want to fucking draw the owl.
Oh God, the owl.
I got so many. I'm a huge fan of the episode. I haven't finished it yet, but it's only because of excitement.
I appreciate that, but what I'll ask you is, you know, you were there, so you can attest to how long we all were there. You know, compared to how long the episode is.
It honestly felt like an entire day's worth of fucking doing it. I think it might have been because of all the information we were taking in as well.
Yeah.
It's such a shame that we needed to, you know, really have a concise story, a full story, because we did have to rush it towards the end. Yeah. But, like, if we had, like, a week to just record or something, I would have loved to fully play that out. Like,
that would have been cool. I mean, Brian really, did a lot of work in terms of the writing of that world.
That's what gets me so excited, creativity-wise. It's because, like, Brian's done so much work that it leaves little for the mind to like completely fill in. Yeah, like everything's there. Brian, I mean, he's fucking God. He made the shit. Yeah. You know, I just gotta give it a visual perspective.
You know, the thing here's. Let me put it to you this way: when it came to the work that I wanted to do versus the work I did on that podcast in terms of editing, right?
Oh, okay.
I was like, it doesn't need really all that sound effects, you know.
It makes it so much more immersive.
Exactly. See, I was thinking, the amount of work Brian did to write this and to DM and everything, and I felt really bad that we did have to skip a whole bunch of levels for the sake of time. That's why I told him
to send me that script, because I want to read it in its entirety. Yeah. And because I guess I told the world now, without telling much people, I wanted to work on that little project on my own.
Well, that's the thing. If he's gonna put that work in, I should do my part, you know, in terms of editing and like adding a fart noise. And like, am I gonna add a fart noise?
So much farting.
It has to be in there.
For continuity's
and
sake.
If you can make like a portrait of each character together.
I plan to. That's the fun part, is that I can, when everybody was doing their little character introductions, I'm like, oh my God, I could see it so perfectly. And I can see all of us running through the forest and all of us fucking up, and that big-footed fucking elf halfling that you were talking to. I could see it all. Brian, you're an amazingly creative person. With his fucking little twists to connecting it to the podcasts, like, it's amazing. It's amazing. He made the connection, and I want to make the artistic representation of that connection, because I can see it, because I agree with it. It gets me excited. Like,
See, I was picturing it like those old school machinimas, like red versus blue and stuff, you know, on the Skyrim maps and stuff. Yeah,
something similar.
You know?
No, dude, I don't know if you saw the little sketch pad that I had to write down all the rules and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But when he was like describing the end, I'm looking, well, I want to play again. It was cool.
It's fun.
But like, I'd love to play with like actual scenery and shit. That'd be fucking even more immersive. I'm all for the lore and for like
Yeah.
making it as realistic as can be. And like, so when in the ending when he was describing the place and he kind of gave context to the whole place, I was like, oh god, I see it. And I gave a little quick sketch, and he was like, no, that's exactly what I was picturing. And I'm like, oh dude, this is just quick. Like, I can give so much more detail. Like that. Yeah. No, I'm excited.
Ironically enough, I also have 20 minutes to go in terms of listening it. You know, because I've
Well,
been.
why did you stop?
Well, you know, I've been really busy this past week, and also like I've listened to it a lot. You know what I mean?
How long was the editing process? Was it definitely
It took a
the
week.
longest
It took
out
a
of all
week.
the episodes?
In terms of like editing the, yeah, without a doubt, for sure. Like it was. To give some context to the listeners about the D&D podcast, which was the previous podcast before this one, it was the original recording was like 4.5 hours, you know, and that's not the amount of time we were there, you know,
Yeah,
because
no,
we had
that's
to
why I said
pause
we were there
frequently.
all day.
Yeah, we were there pretty much all day, evening to
It was almost
late
10
night.
hours, 12
Yeah.
hours. Half a
We
day.
were there a long time. Recording was that long. Had to cut out a lot of the fat and everything,
Yeah.
and then
I
put
would
something
imagine
together.
going over and over, like, oh, do I really need this? Do I
Yeah.
need this? Like, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely like, I mean, it's 50, you know,
And it's one hell of an episode, man. All that hard work, and you got a good episode, dude. Like, you got me excited so much because of that episode. Like, I'm sure it was laborious, but it came out good, man.
that's one thing I can ask Brian next episode for the final episode. If he's listened to the D&D one.
Just-
I hope he has.
Just text everybody. Tell them all to listen to the D&D
No,
episode.
dude, that's one.
It's required lore for your party.
See, here's the thing. I've heard those comments of like, I'm not gonna name names, okay? But I've heard those comments from people like, man, like this is the only friend group that I have to do homework for. I'm like, see, that's why I try not to push it. You know, like I was actually worried that not many people would be coming
Oh,
for on this, you know, for Sunday.
we just suck at confirming. No, we're all coming.
Well, no, I just before I even sent an invite for
Yeah.
that podcast party thing, it's like, you know, am I annoying people with this?
No,
like,
are you
is
kidding
this
me? This is
too much?
This is a project that you've been, you know, really excited about for about a year, and
Yeah.
like it's something that's a part of you, and it's coming to an end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if some of us couldn't be there throughout it as much as we wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be there for the end for sure. You
Yeah.
know, so like, yeah, of course. I'm
Hey,
pretty
you know-
sure that's what everyone else is thinking. They just want to be there, even if they weren't able to show the support throughout. They would want to show it in the end. You know, we're all excited for it.
I
dude.
appreciate that. I'm looking forward to it. I think the alcohol is gonna help for sure.
Excited.
And another thing, I mean,
We're-
yeah,
we're
this
doing
is
one
crazy.
shot per episode, by the way.
That's 52 shots
Throughout
man.
the night, we're gonna space them out. As soon as we get there, all right, episode 1, here we go.
Dude, you know what? It's a good thing I don't work the next day or the day after that, because I'll
Or the
be
week after.
comatose. That last episode's never coming out because I'll be so dead after the drinking. I won't be able to. I won't be able to edit it.
Okay, we'll sneak in 10 shots of water.
Oh shit! Oh, this is great. Well, you saw me the other night when we went out to get a little drink, midweek drink.
Yes, that was fun. That was really fun, dude.
That was fun.
For all those drinks, it wasn't a bad amount. You know, they were about $10 a piece, which is like that's a lot, but in LA, it's not bad.
As
So,
a group, we went as a group.
we went as a group and maybe had about 2 to 3 drinks a person. It was
Yeah.
a good amount. Yeah, if we wanted to extend it, like we could have, if we had, you know, if it was Friday payday and shit, we were going crazy, you know. But no, I liked it without the drama. It was fun.
Oh, see, there you go. See, remember when Julius got spit on?
So we went to this bar. You know, maybe you've heard us talk about it. It's famous with Russians. Although I will admit, because my Jacob was asking like, oh, did Julius mention that's where it happened? Because I told him
Yeah.
who was going, and he's like, oh, did he tell him about it? And I'm like, no, but Miles did. Like, he just wouldn't let it go at that night. Like,
Well, here's the thing. We
Julius, you better duck.
went this past week. We went back to the infamous Fable bar in Eagle Rock where I got spit on the night of recording the 30th podcast, actually. And it was at the Denny's episode that we talked about this event.
Oh, remember Denny's, dude? I can't believe we recorded at a Denny's, dude.
We returned to that bar, and that woman who spit on me was not there. We did have some women with us this time, so that probably wasn't going to happen without verbal reaction this time. You know,
I was keeping my eye out for Miles. His lips were ready.
I know.
Spit.
Yeah, well, Miles did. Well, you know, actually, I'm not going to put Miles out there. Never mind. But no, it was actually fun. I've never been against going
back to the table,
back to places I've had bad experiences at.
I never imagined you did. It was just like I wouldn't mention it either, though. So that's why when you did, I was just like, I mean, yeah, no, because
was it out of pocket?
Pretty secure. No, I don't think it was out of pocket. I was just like, not necessary. I guess we all know
it's a story.
No, yeah, it's a story to be told once, but you know.
Well, some of the people there didn't know it.
That's why the one time was yeah, but
well, to be fair, Miles did. Miles was the one who recommended that place, actually.
Hey, well, the drinks were good, so I don't mind. And they made tequila sunrises. Not a lot of bars in LA make tequila sunrise. I guess
or White Russians.
Carry orange juice.
Yeah.
True, but that wasn't real milk.
That
was alcohol and alcohol. Brother.
Bailey's, which I was fine with, for the record. I was good with.
I don't think Miles was, or at least his stomach.
It's no,
but that's why I don't drink Bailey's.
It was a cool place, man. It was a cool place.
I'll definitely go back.
Yeah,
they had a dog portrait, of course. Yes. I love my bartender having
a little dog in a suit.
Fuck yeah, that's the owner, Mr. Fable himself.
Because he's a fable.
Yeah, mythical.
A tall tale.
But you mentioned previously. Remember when we ate at Denny's, man?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's such a shame we didn't eat at that Denny's where that one kid was like causing a commotion. Remember?
Which
Imagine
kid?
Getting that on podcast.
When?
We were having some dinner when we went to Irvine, I believe. We drove really far and we went to some Denny's that was filled with higher class people, I'll say.
I don't remember this.
So we were sitting kind of like this, and there was a walkway right here, and there was like a weird middle structure. And
an island?
Some two people came into the front, which was behind you.
Yeah.
And one person was like, they were recording this guy.
Oh,
and
my God.
I think he was saying some homophobic stuff
to the guy.
Yeah.
Like, and the guy was dressed like what?
Slapped his
hand. He had like a lot of like Hello Kitty stuff on, right? Like
honestly, I'll say it looked like a Pretty Fire Barbie fit. Like, I'm
not Barbie, lie. That's what it was.
Yeah, like
that's
it was a lot of pink and shit. He was rocking it.
Yeah.
And I guess the guy was recording him and clowning on him. So the guy retaliated and he smacked his phone down. And that's when I looked up. And I don't know if you had noticed, but some people turned. And like the guy was like picked up his phone, but I guess he was butthurt. So he started yelling at him and like telling him shit. And I was like, damn, Denny's.
See, no matter where you are,
man.
The poor neighborhoods, the rich ones, Denny's is Denny's.
It's an experience.
It's Denny's no matter what, right?
Did you ever see Brightburn? That one movie, Evil Superman.
Yeah.
I always imagined the diner where he killed that waitress was a Denny's. It looked just like a fucking Denny's at 2 a.m. It does. So.
Well, you know, it's funny that you say that because Denny's is featured heavily in Breaking Bad. The show about meth heads.
Walter.
There's one shot I'm thinking of particular where they just like they're sitting at the table, and through the windows is that big ass Denny's sign.
Were they sponsored by Denny's? Probably.
They were in that episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe Denny's like agreed to that.
What do they call their drug in Breaking Bad?
Blue Crystal.
Get some Blue Crystal pancakes at Denny's, bro.
See, you know what the thing is? I'm going to have to, especially now that I'm ending this podcast, I'm going to have to retire Denny's.
As a company?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm filing for bankruptcy.
This is where IHOP finally takes over.
the next episode will be at an IHOP. The final episode will be at an IHOP. No, I'm just I had an experience recently where the food, you know, the service was nice, the people were nice, but the food, man, I started to get what people were saying, you know.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm taking an indefinite break, not only from the Goat Movie Podcast, but Denny's.
Denny's, you heard it here first. You've turned your most loyal subject into a Denny's hater. That's right. No more circle pits in Denny's. No more ratatouille chefs in Denny's. It's over. Pack it up. You're done.
No more recordings at Denny's.
Sadly.
No. And also drinking during the work week.
You know what? Also, no more recordings in your car. I
that's
like
true.
Those. That was the first I've ever heard of recording in a car, first off. Like, you mentioned the whole Steve-O thing, the mobile thing. But there was something so, like, comforting about the fact that it felt like I was just on a phone call with two of my buddies in their car, you know?
Oh, that's funny.
Like, I loved your episodes. Remember when...
Remember when it was Brian and Brian versus Sebastian in a car? Which time exactly?
You only ever had 3, right? 3-car podcast. 4? No, we did one.
I think I've had a couple. The Denny's one later in that episode.
That's right. We got kicked out of the Denny's.
Yeah.
We had to go back to the car.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned the Steve-O mobile podcast, as it were. Even though it's mobile, it's still pretty, like, good quality.
Yeah,
you know,
set up like an office.
I just
on wheels.
Think of an interior of a car, and then a laptop on my lap in the driver's seat or passengers, or back seat in many
Probably
cases.
Back seat. He's got a driver.
And these microphones in the middle, and everyone just speaking.
That's what I imagine. Yeah.
That's what it was.
See, that's why I prefer ours. Way more like self-intuitive. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it was fun. I love that. I know that I wanted to do one. Excuse me. Damn. I wanted to do a podcast in a car when we were driving to Vegas with Miles and Crystal.
That would have been cool.
That would have been fun, but I was tired. We were tired. It was the morning.
It's a very cool idea, but it is like something to put some effort in, you know? Not just something that like, all right, we're driving here, let me just flip on the record. No, there's going to be some planning. There's going to be some timing to this. Your signal's going to be going. We're going to be going in all kinds of terrain. If we had a flat tire like we did that one time, that would be fun to capture.
I would want to record it.
Yeah, but, you know, it would cause like, okay, you know. So
I at least need lav mics.
It's a cool idea.
It is a cool idea, but too bad it's a dead idea. It's never happening.
Well, not for this podcast.
Not in this life. Maybe in another life. It reminds me of Smallville. Did you ever watch Smallville growing up?
Yeah, a few clips.
Okay, you know how they brought in some of the old Superman actors and everything sometimes? They brought in Margot Kidder, the original Lois Lane from the films, with Christopher Reeve. And Christopher Reeve also cameoed in Smallville a couple times. And she was asked by one of the characters, the main character, saying, "Oh, are you and him together? Are you and Christopher Reeve's character together? The original Superman and Lois?" And she just looks off to the distance and says, "Maybe in another life." Oh. See? That's what I'm saying about the, podcast of Vegas.
You're Lois Lane.
Yeah.
And the podcast is Superman.
I'm Margot Kidder.
Well, I'm about to ask you something very controversial.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
What has been your most favorite episode?
Oh, man.
Out of all 51 states. Out of all 50 plus episodes.
That's difficult, man, because they're all fun, and I love. I it's like kids, Okay. 50 children.
So you love them all, but which one's your favorite?
Lord, the last one.
It hasn't even happened yet.
Exactly,
but it's gonna be your favorite.
Well, I have, actually, I have a feeling that one's gonna be very special to me. But
oh yeah.
The last one, the 50th one, was pretty fun. I liked having kind of like a culmination, and I really appreciated the work.
Well, that's
like Brian put into it, that was really big of him to do, like talk about someone who really, like, I asked him, yeah, he's dedicated. He listened to, I think he listened to all of them, if not most of them, to get content and ideas, and that was very complimentary. You know, for someone to do that, that's really dynamite.
It does add a lot to it. Because I was
Yeah.
gonna say that wasn't our first like big collab episode. Remember the play when we went over to Crystal's house? We were
Oh, the
playing-
Cards Against Humanity.
That would
That's
be
a
the
fun
big
one.
But because of what you said and all the effort that Brian, it does
Mm-hmm.
add so much more to it. I mean, we played a game, but like, you know, there wasn't that much structure and planning that went into. We were just having fun.
Yeah, there's
you know?
just more drinking than plan.
Yeah, and Sebastian doing homework on the side.
Yeah, it's a fascinating. No, the
Ghost
Cards Against
laugh.
Humanity one is a fun. I haven't. Wow,
Hey,
it sounds like
this
so
is a
long ago.
multiverse episode, man. Come on, you gotta be spitting these out, brother.
Well, see,
you know,
I
you know
like-
what I thought you were gonna say though.
What?
Your favorite episode?
Oh, what did you think?
The one where you had your two famous actors on here. You know.
Oh,
It
Asta
gave you
and
the
Clay.
most. It gave you the most clout after that. Your support for the film shot up about 10%.
The Asta and Clay. Those
No,
guys.
I really enjoyed that.
Those guys
one.
are
That
nice.
one definitely felt like your most professional, clean cut episode, with still feeling like it was your podcast. Like, because I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you work with them. Like, you're casual with them.
I don't think Asta works in my place anymore. Actually,
Oh, well, you did. At
it's
the
weird that
time.
I say I think.
Yeah, you should know.
Well, I see some of my coworkers so little.
Like their schedules are just.
Yeah,
so-
our schedules just don't, because I'm a closer, and she used to work at the mornings, but I have a feeling she doesn't work there anymore. I should ask her.
Yeah, I mean, that would be good to know. But, yeah, no, like that episode, it felt like it was an episode 10 years in the future. Like if you were
Yeah.
to continue the podcast, this is you talking to actors. You know, like it felt still familiar, still you, just more professional, more clean cut.
Just fun.
That was something notable from that.
That was a
episode.
fun one.
Yeah, I got way more like perspective on your part in acting
Mm-hmm.
because of them. They're more serious actors than me and Brian, who are goofy, just riffing off you.
And they were, I think they were, well, they're really nice people, and they're really
yeah.
cool. They came from the trauma crowd, or trauma, pardon me.
No trauma.
Both. Trauma Entertainment, the famous and great Lloyd Kaufman. Famously, James Gunn's starting place was Trauma Entertainment, so, I got to talk to Clay and Asta about Asta's podcast and Clay's work and everything. They're really nice to help me out with that. That was really nice of them. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
It feels like so long ago. Wow. It's been
Tell-
a year. I
telling
can't
you,
even
I'm a
tell.
listener, bro.
I know, yeah,
Even
but
old episodes, I gotta re-listen.
So
before
insane.
work.
I guarantee you, I'll listen to the first one of with Brian, and I'll be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you,
Dude,
man?"
that one is honestly a little surreal.
Yeah.
Because I remember listening to that episode again. I think
Where Brian talked about his hatred for Hawaii.
yes, the famous Hawaii slander episode.
Yeah.
Um,
For those who I couldn't see, Andrew just like targeted Hawaii with his
yeah,
psychic powers just now.
There's a visual image of Hawaii and Brian, an auditory Brian hate message to Hawaii. No, but when I re-heard that episode, when it was an episode that you released where it was just him and you, I think it might have been before the Brian Justin episode, because it was just you and Brian.
But the first one?
No. It was an episode with just you and Brian.
Oh yeah.
But I had recently listened to that first episode, and it felt like it was back to back. Like,
Yeah.
even though they were months apart from each other,
Yeah.
that first episode is surreal because it's kind of like an episode of It's Always Sunny. Like, it could be placed in season 10, it could be placed in season 12. Like, it could go anywhere. And that first episode, because, like, I just listened to I think it might have been the 40th with you and Brian, it felt like it was something that was, like, recent,
Mm-hmm. I mean,
that's
we-
my
we-
memory for that first episode. It's one of your best.
Well, thank you. We just kind of there's some people you just like, if you haven't seen them in a while, you can just get right back into it. And I feel like that's why I'm really grateful with Brian. He gets it. I think some people don't get it.
True.
Sebastian doesn't get it.
Sebastian will never get. No,
I really like the ones with Sebastian.
oh yeah,
Those ones are fucking funny.
Those are really funny, dude. I will admit. I think those get the most laughs out of me.
I think it's because like, not to toot my own horn, but one of my joys let me put it this way. One of my joys of recording a conversation with Sebastian is I get to confront him with his caricature, and it's him. Okay?
No,
Well, I
yeah,
come up to him and I say,
agree.
"Hello there, Sebastian." And he's like, "That is not what I sound like."
No, I completely agree because like I also I'm a big fan of the guy Sebastian. He's a fun guy, but he is also Brian, you, Justin, Jacob. Y'all are wildin'. Sebastian, he's a bit more reserved, and that can be appreciated in times where it's a bit more appropriate. Where I'm like, all right, I'll chill with Sebastian rather than Brian, who's yelling at this homeless man. You know?
Yeah.
But because of that, sometimes you don't really get his true thoughts on some things. And I noticed when you got him on either recording or like you're playing him up because you notice something that he does, and so you start doing it to bring it up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a way for him to not back away from the situation. You're confronting him with it. Like you can't run from this, bro.
See, Sebastian is that guy like who like will. He will not go on a plane if he can't get first class.
Like unless he owns the skyline.
Am I getting a copy of Sky Mall? I will wait for the next available flight.
The man did choose an elf, you know. I'm picturing on drawing him the most gorgeous out of all of us.
And then what about my version of Sebastian?
The most caricaturic version of Sebastian. like if you took like a mirror of them two, they would look practically the same.
Yeah.
But when you look at the changeling that Sebastian is, he's just gonna have like the beauty filter on him.
Yeah. And mine will be a warped version.
It's just Sebastian.
Oh, it's just
for real.
The real one.
The real one. Without the blemishes. Without the changeling upgrades.
Oh my gosh. That's I can't wait to see that. It can be a companion piece with the podcast, but after the fact, when it's just, you know, the podcast will be dead. You know, I've been telling people.
I'm gonna tell you something. Just remind me, but it's gonna be off the podcast.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been telling people that I can't wait to now. Once I'm done, I'll have to come back and apologize for everything I've said this past year on the podcast.
Well, I mean, I don't think there's anything said that's too controversial.
I will come out with a ukulele and completely gaslight everyone else and not really apologize.
A banjo.
A banjo, yeah. Me, Steve Martin, and Kermit the Frog will come out.
Fuck yeah.
And we'll have a rock banjo concert.
Love Kermit.
Honestly, no, I think
rock it.
I completely agree. One of the ones I'm most proud of is the one, and I hate to keep hating on Sebastian, okay?
but you love it at the same time.
I mean, it's awesome. The one where I had Ugin and Hector on. And got Sebastian to put on the MAGA hat.
Yeah,
even though you can't see it, I'm not putting that footage out there.
No, but
it did happen.
Feel the discomfort. You can hear the auditory and ridicule from you guys. Like it's amazing. I've laughed a couple times in the previous episodes, but that episode, I remember they had me shipping in my department, so I was like around more people. But since I'm like physically moving and stuff, I couldn't help but laugh. Like I dropped the box because Vivian said something stupid. No, that one was the most like it made me laugh physically.
Yeah,
like I couldn't hold it in. Like God damn it, y'all.
I can only imagine what I'll do after. What are you gonna do after? Not that this is the most important thing in your life or anything, but like, you know, this thing will go away. It'll end.
Right.
And
no, I have plans for this after its death.
Oh, you do?
These are things that I wanted to tell you about after the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
just because I would like if anyone's a fan of this to be surprised by this.
Well, would you like to announce what it is on the last episode? On the last episode?
Oh, maybe.
Depending on our conversation after this.
Depending on what the future has in store for
Oh,
me.
okay. All right. Well, we've been doing a lot of well, not lately, but in general, we've been doing work on the film, on the podcast, which I hope can almost act as like a spiritual kind of transition from this to whatever's next. You know,
Yeah, no.
if you get that feeling from it.
This isn't the end of creativity, but the
Right.
end of one project.
One
Absolutely,
project.
yeah.
I hope to finish that soon. I'm very hopeful. You know, would you say the same?
Just regarding the future, or
Yeah, whatever comes
yeah,
next.
yeah, completely. I'm still a little bit bummed that the podcast is coming to an end. But like I said earlier, I know it's not an end to your projects, and like it's not an end to hearing you and all your stories that you've told these people. I'm gonna hear them. Sucks to be you guys, but I will still hear them.
And who's to say it's the end of podcasting for me?
Exactly. It's
At
the
all,
end of
you
this
know?
podcast at the moment. And like the thing that I'm excited about is just like your I was going to say The Room. No. That one I think it's done. We'll see. I think it's done. But just like your Star Wars film, like I'm not done with that either. There's plenty of shit that's going on that I need my art supplies for.
Tools, man.
But
the fucking tools.
This is like something else to put on that list.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm excited about. This coming to an end is like, I'm not done with it. I'm gonna use it for something else. But
I'm curious. I'm curious to hear what you can tell me.
like it's an end of this phase, but it will be continued in some form. So it's like not really an end to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. So
That's a good way of putting it. I
very
think.
much hopeful.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to come.
Well, I think so. Yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing up the projects we're working on right now. This one, obviously, this channel is going to keep going once I'm gone, and that's kind of a weird thing to think about. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm just saying that right now. It's completely okay. But I think to bring some perspective, I've been with like Goat Movie Podcast has been in my life since the beginning of it. You know what I mean? Like for 7 years, it's been in my life, and podcasting has been in my life. And, obviously this past year, it's been in it more consistently because, there was a very good chance that we wouldn't get here, a year. There was a time, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I was unhappy for a while, for a good while. After everyone knows about the original channel going away, being kaput and everything, and that was very hard for me and for Angel. That was very hard, and that was man, I don't even know how to say this. It felt like for a long time I wouldn't get back to that point of doing something I really like doing consistently. And then after a while of nothing really happening, me just kind of posting the old stuff that we could salvage from the Spotify, I was able to finally do it, and Brian helped me out with that first one of Ignore. And, I didn't know how long I was going to do. I'm sure you remember back in December, I was telling you I had ideas of ending this.
Yeah.
Then, I didn't think I was going to get here. 52 is a weird number, but 52 is the amount in a year. And I wanted to make sure that I could prove to myself that I could do this for a year, Yeah. And it's insane how time flies and things change in a year, especially if you want them to. So my advice to anyone, the few who listen to this compared to the other stuff on this channel, please, I think Kevin Smith put it the best way. Kevin Smith, my personal hero, fellow podcaster, greater podcaster. He put it the best way. The world is filled with why. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to do that? Or just silence of, hey, I want to do something, and then you hear nothing. It's up to you, the person who wants to do something, to do it. And that's how I choose and plan to approach everything after this. And I am grateful to everyone over the years of not even just listening to this, but the people who watch those TikTok videos Angel makes, and the reaction videos, and the old stuff, and the podcast from before and everything. I am and the people who used to comment during the live streams and on the videos and the community posts, the people who don't know who I am, I'm still grateful for them. I really appreciate that. You guys are still here, and you guys have a good time after I'm out of here. This has been a blast. I feel really creatively fulfilled after a long time of feeling the other way.
Right.
Good. And I think that's the point of doing something like this,
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
That's my soliloquy.
I mean,
now we can get back to the bullshit.
Remember when? No, no, I absolutely agree with the sentiment, and I think that's how you very much started this project, even if you didn't know, because obviously you didn't see the movie when you started this, but the meaning of starting things, just starting it. That's what made you start this. Yeah. And you're going to carry that even as this ends. You're going to still start your things. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a good theme of your podcast. That's how it started, and that's how it will end. Yeah. Continuing.
Yeah. Wow. This is gonna be fun, man. It's not over yet. we got one more to go, and that one I think is gonna be a really fun one to do. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm glad you're gonna be there. Thank you so much for listening, Andrew. Thanks so much for helping me out with this, man.
Of course, man.
We're gonna go get some boba now, and then who knows what's next?
Life.
Sunday is next. All right, guys. Have a good one. Stay safe, and goodbye.